automatically do it, or am I gonna need to refresh the page? No, it's gonna do it. Yay! I love it when a plan comes together. Hey, chat room. Howdy. Howdy. How is everybody?
Hello.
Okay, alright. Hey, Rude. How are ya? Alright, let me pour the coffee because, you know, that is the most important thing before before we even start. I actually brewed myself it's a full like plunger plunger type today. Normally I make like a latte or a real milk base, but today it's more coffee. More coffee. Hey Chris. Sweetie, thank you. 23 months. Woman, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you. Cheers. Cheers, Chris. Thank you. You see and hear us. Okay, you can hear Nisey and Cell okay? You guys want to say something?
Yeah, can you hear me? How do I sound?
Sound check.
Everyone sounds good? You sound good in my ears, but you know...
Doesn't always translate over to...
Doesn't always translate.
Very well.
Exactly. So I have upped the... I have upped the intro, so hopefully it is better this week for you guys. We will find out in about 10 seconds when I start. So if we're all ready, guys, you ready? We'll do this?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's do this. So in 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're listening to the WoW Challenges podcast, the home of the Iron Man Challenge.
Hello and welcome to the WoW Challenges podcast. This is episode 224. Wow. Today is Saturday, July 11th, 2020. I'm your host, Leeta. Joining me this week for my co-host is Nisey. There she is. Puppet's there.
Yes. Hello.
Howdy. Howdy. Thank you for joining me.
You're a puppet this week.
You are a puppet this week. That's
yes.
which is fine. It's not a problem. Sometimes it makes my life a little bit easier, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, that's fine.
But thank you for helping me out this week. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
This week, very excited to finally catch up with this person. It's been a while, but we have got Cell here. Hey, Cell, how are you?
Doing good. Thank you very much for having me back on.
Oh, I looked back and went, damn, it's been a while since we've had Cell on. Jeez. So thank you for once again saying yes. We appreciate that. And for joining us today. We want to know, what have you been up to since the last time we spoke? Because, you know, we know you may have been busy. Slight alcoholic, perhaps?
Yep, that even bleeds over into my Iron Man game. So, but it's been like, what, 2 or 3 years? So I've been doing lots and lots of dying for the most part. So.
Oh, no.
I think a lot of us can understand that.
Yeah.
It's only been in the last couple of months that I've actually done anything substantial with Iron Man other than just get to 60 to 80 die, rinse and repeat. So
yes, I can fully understand that. But again, you know, you're still out there and doing, you know, once again, we always see you every week. We get to see where you are with your tunes, and we know that your tunes are right across various different challenge boards, which is fantastic. I also want to say huge congratulations. You were our 15th BFA Ironman Challenge champion with Carousel, which is an awesome name. I love that name. You've got some of the best names. It's awesome. So, you know, congratulations on that, which only, you know, when did that happen? That's like within the last month, hasn't it? It's not that long ago, which is fantastic.
yeah, that's right. I know myself well enough that I don't have the patience to get an Iron Man to max level. So when the whole Winds of Wisdom thing came out, I decided, you know what, I'm actually going to try instead of just running on the hamster wheel. So when the Winds of Wisdom came out, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I got to one with a green man, and I thought, oh, that was a bit easier than I thought it might be. And then I decided to go on to the next tune, and then the next tune, and then I thought, well, let's try it with the Iron Man. And I more than anything else, I think I just got lucky. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was able to get a handful of tunes to 120 with the Winds of Wisdom bonus, all in the last couple of weeks
Fantastic.
or couple of months. So
Mm-hmm.
after that, yeah, it just feels good. So
Nice. No, that's awesome. And obviously, it's not often that we get something from Blizzard that we can say, hey, look, everyone, utilize it. And everybody's utilizing, which is fantastic. Like, why not? There's nothing that we can do about it. So go forth and have fun with it while it lasts, because when it stops, I think a lot of us are going to be feeling the pain.
I'm gonna cry.
Because, it's a grind. It is a grind doing a challenge tune. It's not supposed to be easy. It's a challenge. So, having that little bit extra with the Winds of Wisdom, that means that we're getting, double XP. Well, yeah, hello. Yes, thank you very much. I'll take that. Nisey, you would definitely agree with
yeah.
the Bloods and where you are at with the Bloods at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't think if the Winds of Wisdom buff wasn't in place, I'd probably still be trying to level that Warlock, and I probably would not have any hopes of getting Soul Snuffer there before Shadowlands hits, just because of the time. Because I was trying to factor out the time, and 6 to 8 hours with Winds of Wisdom. So if you take the double XP away,
wow.
that's a long level. And
yes.
even I have my points where I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a 2-week level.
Oh,
It's like, yeah.
yes.
So it's like, I'm going to miss that very much. Very, very much. But at least, when it goes away, max level will be coming down, so it won't be
things will be
quite as
changing.
bad.
Yes, things will definitely be
how things shake out.
changing. That's exactly right. But for the moment, anyway, again, Cell, congratulations on that. So what we want to know is, because we know that you've been busy. We know that you've been busy. Because we do see you around on the boards. So tell us, Nisey, I'm going to steal this question because,
Okay.
But what are you currently focused on? Tell us about the tunes and what you're playing, and I always like to know what the class and the race is, because I find it intriguing from people as to, some people stick with certain races, certain classes, and other people just go with a whole broad range. So what are you currently focused on, and why?
Well, when it comes to race, I'm one of those people who likes the easy way out. So unless I have a reason that I can't play a night elf, I play a night elf just so I can get that shadow meld. But I've got I had a backup hunter. Celery is level 97, and she was the backup hunter to Carousel, and so I'm just leveling her out of habit, I guess. And then I've got a couple of lower level tunes. I've got a 42 druid, which is also a night elf. Just kind of putzing around on him, trying to learn the root and shoot thing. Then I've got a level 23 gnome warlock, which I'm trying to figure out how to properly use my pet without dying.
We'll
and then
talk
I've
about that.
got a night elf rogue at level 22, and
Nice.
those are tunes that I don't really have any goals for. I just kind of log on to them when I feel like it and play. And then I've got a level 65 working man priest, which is basically just turned into a pacifist. I just basically park her in Stormwind and do dailies. And And then I got a couple of oh my gosh, what's the word? Bloodthirsties. That's the word.
Bloods, yeah.
And yeah, one's 58 and one is 63, and I just log into those a couple of times a week and burn off the rest XP. And so yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. Nothing with any goal or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Nice. But I mean, still busy. Still busy enough. Yeah. Which
It keeps me occupied. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Nisey, do you want to take 3 for me?
Okay, so I know you said you've got a couple of tunes that you don't really have any set goals for. Did you have any kind of challenge goals that you were looking to complete or, you know, tick off on the box before Shadowlands comes in, or no, not really, just kind of doing your thing?
No, not really, but I'll put an asterisk next to that. The level 97 hunter, if she happens to die before Shadowlands, I might work to get her on the tin list just so I can say I have a tin, one more list checked off, but I'm not gonna go and kill her off just for that. So
fair enough. You know, to get that high, you don't really want to purposely do anything to
exactly
encourage their fate to happen, shall we say?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So with your journey, so when did let's go back. When did you first start playing challenge tunes? Let's talk about that for a minute. When did you pick up taking a challenge tune? What year? Do you know roughly what year, or how many years have you been doing challenge tunes?
I remember it was roughly after Nissan got the first tune. So I would that have been Cataclysm or Pandaria? I don't remember which. I remember the first one I ever got was in Pandaria. It was the first max level tune I ever got. So it's been that long.
So it's been about, what's that, about 7?
8 years, yeah.
Yeah, Catapult Sand. Yep.
But I also play on a cycle. Usually at the beginning of the expansion, I won't even touch challenge tunes for the first half of it. I'll just focus on my normal tunes, and then the second half of the expansion, I just completely forget my normal tunes and then go focus on the challenge tunes. So even though I've been doing it for like 7 or 8 years, you could probably cut that time in half. So.
Yeah, I you know, it always, you can tell with how an expansion goes, how things can pan out for some of us. I wouldn't say all of us, but definitely I would be about the same with concentrating on my main girl once the expansion comes out. And boy, Shadowlands is looking very interesting. But for you, over your journey, so as you said, you've had some max levels, you've had probably some ups and downs. But is there anything that you think that you would have done differently, that you wished you would have done differently with those previous tunes? Obviously, other than dying, like falling off a cliff later, that you know, those kinds of things that happen to me that I'm like, yeah, that was really dopey of me to have done that. But for you, as you look at your journey, has there been anything that you wish that you'd done differently?
I can think of 2 things, and one of them might not really count because it's about learning a personal lesson, and that's that I don't have the patience, and I always want to cut the corners, and that's the reason I usually die. And I didn't really learn patience until I started leveling tunes when everything scaled. So you couldn't go back and do the green content or anything like that. So I just kind of had to learn to, all right, slow down. This is going to take a long time. Just do it.
Yeah.
And so what did that take me? Like 5-6 years to learn that lesson. And I wish I would have learned that a lot sooner, because that made a huge difference in my ability to progress for personal bests and stuff like that. And the other thing is I wish I would have paid more attention to the abilities of my characters, because when I started playing a hunter, I based it off of how I play a hunter normally.
Mm-hmm.
and I just face rolled it. I never paid attention to all of the other abilities and stuff like that. So it wasn't until very recently that I discovered that Hunter has a 3-second stun with intimidation, or it has an ice trap that you can use to hold people off. And that just made a huge difference in my ability to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
And that was relatively recent. So yeah, I wish I would have paid more attention to what my tunes can actually do.
Interesting. So, what do you main in your normal tunes? What do you main?
I main a shadow priest, but
Okay.
I keep a, I guess what would you call it? A horde of every single class at max
Mm-hmm.
level. So I that way I can keep a tab on them. But what I feel
Yep.
most comfortable with is a shadow priest.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's interesting. All right. I've got a possible show title already. I'm sure Nisey's already written written down some.
I was so intrigued by listening. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be writing show down.
That's right. I'm sure the chat room's grabbing some as well. But yeah, I would say patience is definitely. I swear I'm still learning that one. And in game and IRL. So hey, what was that? I missed that.
All
Nisey.
right. Oh no, I said a lot of people are.
Yes.
A lot of people not quite grasped that concept yet.
Oh.
And I just want to make it clear, I'm not claiming to be some Zen Buddhist. All I'm saying is I'm less suicidal than I was before. So.
Yes, I can kind of understand that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. We might skip. Can you take question 6, and then we'll come back to Cell, because I know you've got a question to ask us. But we'll jump to Cell. Posed a question to us. To me, when I was in discussions for him to come on the show. So Nisey, we're going to ask him this one first to find out what Cell has to say, and then we'll give our answers on that in the chat room. You guys can weigh in to this as well. So can you take question 6, please?
So Cell's question that he put to us is, what good advice do you disregard even though you know you shouldn't?
Oh, there's a list. All right.
I've got a few things.
Okay.
The first one that has always been an issue for me is I almost never play with sound. The only time I ever play with sound is when I'm doing brand new content I've never done before, which I've never done on an iron.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is playing tired or inebriated. I like to sit down and play with a couple of drinks every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I won't play blackout drunk or anything like that, but yeah, I like to have a couple of drinks sometimes. Also, when I'm leveling in Legion, I really love that huge XP bonus you get from doing the invasions.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that is just playing with fire. You make the tiniest little mistake and you're insta dead. And I do it and I'm kicking myself the entire time, and eventually it's going to bite me in the butt. But luckily it hasn't yet. So and then the other one is taking advantage of holidays and Darkmoon Fair. Unless I'm playing a tune that is really hampered, that they just can't find XP anywhere else, I don't do that stuff. I'll do the opening quest where you get the 10 gold and the 16 slot box.
Yep.
But that's it, you know. And I probably should be taking more advantage of that, but I've just really gotten out of the habit of doing that. And so those are the big things for me on that list.
Okay. All right. I can feel you with the, well, maybe not all of them, but quite a few of those. Okay. Nisey, what about you? So what's the good advice you disregard, even though you know you shouldn't?
So one of the things is probably because of the challenge I play. I'm the main challenge I play, so I mainly play Bloodthirsty. So it's kind of ingrained in my brain. I can't do anything. I can kill stuff. That's what I can do. So that's what I'm going to do. So, I do have a few other challengers kicking about. And a holiday rolls in and I'm with Cell on this one. I don't take advantage of it. Only recently did I start trying to, kick myself in the butt, go do it. And I'm like, but I'm kicking and screaming the whole way because I'm like, nah. But but it's like, yeah, the XP, while it's probably not as much as, going and farming for nodes and stuff like on your pacifist or your working man or doing a normal quest on an iron, sometimes they're the safer XP option and they're the bonus XP option, especially when you start to get on an iron that's high level and you're afraid to kill anything. So so it's like, yeah, I really need to be more after myself to go after the holidays and stuff on my non-bloodthirsty characters, which is tough because I do get lazy and I'm like, I'm not sitting here for 20 minutes between flight points, and I've got to get myself out of that. Let's see, what else do I disregard? Now this probably falls under listen to what I say but don't do what I do. So I'm a big proponent for people testing stuff and taking a scout out, but when I'm in the middle of my stream, I might look up one quest that I'm a little unsure of, or other times I just walk away from it, or I'm like, well, maybe we'll try it. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but I really should be more about hopping on a scout toon. A lot of times I will when I'm not on stream, but when I'm streaming, I don't really go through the effort of testing something at that very moment.
Yep.
And I should get better about that. So what would be on your list, Leeta?
Well, the list. When I think about it, the list is so long. Anyway, I was just gonna say, Chupa just said about he lost his 111 green to a Legion invasion.
That was your green fan.
Chupa, so sorry. I did notice that. I had a feeling it was yours, man. So sorry. But he says he's all good, re-rolled and back to 32. So, yay, go Chupa. That's fantastic. Well done. Bad advice. Now, everyone, you guys, you all know, rule number 1 for Leeta. Leeta's rule number 1, always and forever, is do not play when you are tired. And I will be the first to admit that I probably break that rule more times than I really should. There are different levels of tired that I can play at, but when I get to the level that I'm exhausted and I'm still playing a toon, someone literally needs to come and take me away from the computer. So yeah, that might be Execute's job coming up.
Yeah,
so
we might have to start like a buddy system messaging you if we're seeing you playing by a certain time, like tired check.
Yes. So I will say, I know I probably don't break that one as often. I do try and be very get off that toon if I'm playing a challenge toon, but there have been times when I've pushed it, especially with contests or world events, and it's kind of like, I just want that XP. I just want that XP. So I will fully admit to doing that. I will also admit to I don't utilize the holidays as well as I should. So I agree with you guys. That's a big thing. I am an alcoholic and I do have many toons, and often I get sidetracked. So I'll be like, right, it's going to be challenge toon tonight. And then all of a sudden I'm over on Leeta or doing something. 2 hours later, I'm like, oh, hang on, I was supposed to be doing, oh well, okay, tomorrow night. So yes, I do have that habit of doing that, as well as get sidetracked. And in game in particular, yeah, let's go do this part, let's go do this zone, and all of a sudden I'm over at another zone because shiny. And if it's shiny, off Leeta goes, and then, you know, that's all of a sudden it's like, oh, hang on, I need to go to bed. I did not get anything done tonight that I wanted to get done. So, you know, so that is, you know, focus leader. It's quite often I do try and focus, and it doesn't it doesn't always happen. So they're probably the big things. Smaller things would be to I think, well, I like to think of, you know, quests and zones, and, you know, people say don't go to this zone, don't go to that zone, don't take on, you know, these rares, or don't do this. And I must admit that there are times, even on the Iron, even on some certain tunes, that I'll be like, oh, there's a rare, okay, let's go for it. And a perfect example would be the hunter that I lost at, what, 60 something back over in Northrend, when I was like, no, I got this, I've got this. And ended up dead.
Walk away from rares sometimes, and I'm like, and I'll be sitting there and I'm like, you know, I'm like, no, and I'm like, but maybe, and I'm like sitting there actually arguing with myself. I'm like, leave it alone, and I'm like, but, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, but that person sitting over there, they might run up and tag it. Maybe I could tag it with them. And I'm like, but then you have to split the XP. Think about that. And then I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And then it's like, walk away. Sometimes I have to hearth out of the zone because I don't want to leave it, and I know I need to.
Yes. So patience, I think, across all challenges can be a very big thing, whether you're playing, you know, whether you're decked out in greens, as in a green man or a bloodthirsty, whether you're questing, whether you're, you know, just picking flowers and mining. Sometimes you're rushing to do things, and as soon as I think, oh, just one more, oh, hang on, I'll just do one more circuit, or, you know, that whole, just one more thing, where you're like, hang on, I could, you know, I need to go and make a coffee, I need a bio break, but hang on, I'm halfway around my path in Sholazar, let me just finish doing the, you know, that OCD part of me is like, let me just finish and I'll get back to where I start and log off, and, you know, and then when I log back in, I can go the full way around again. That's quite often a big thing. And logging out where I am, making sure that I'm safe, because it might be safe for that point, but when you log back in, it might not be a safe place. So getting to an inn, hearthing back, using that hearthstone, you know, all those kinds of things.
I've gotten burned by that before. It's like, oh yeah, I'm sitting at this perfectly saved quest giver, and oh, somebody needs my assistance on Discord or something for a mod issue. I tabbed out, came back, and I'm dead, and I'm like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
I'm like, I was fine. I was staying at a quest giver, and it's like, that was not a saved quest giver. You just learned that lesson.
Yes.
That's one of the very few lessons that I'm really good at. I actually get anxiety just thinking about the idea of logging out of my tune while not getting rest XP. So I always log out in an inn.
Yes.
And that's probably one of the few things I actually am really good about.
Nice. Because it is one of those things that you're like, oh, no, you know, if I get back to the inn, even if I'm only gone for 5 minutes, you know, it just protects me. But I know that there are other players that will be like, no, just log out right here. I do get a bit antsy, but there have been times when I've had to walk away, and it's literally like, okay, am I in as safe a place as I can be? All right, log out, you know, and then you're sitting there and you're watching a time tick down, and you're like, come on, hurry up, log out, log out, log out. You know, I've got the family yelling at me. Something's going on. I need to go and deal with this. And then when you come back and it's like you've forgotten where you've logged out, and all of a sudden you log in. And you're like, oh, gee, what? That's right. I'm not in an inn. I need to, I need to get on my mount, or I need to do this, or some mobs respawn that was behind you that you weren't aware of. Yeah, all those things. So, Rude says, when your character dies, do not rush to get your new character to the same level. Take your time. Yes. That's a good one, because I know for myself when I've lost irons, especially when I was going through this whole period of losing them. I think I was living like at mid-40s, and I kept doing that. It was every single time. It's like 45, 44, and then I lost one at 42, and then I lost one at 36, and it's like rushing to get back, because you're like, damn it, I know I can get to this point, but take your time, enjoy the journey. That's right. So that's a really good one. Fair says for
Fair said for make okay, for Fair, she's saying it's making herself walk away from a chest, especially on a tune with bad CC, because they've died due to chest greed at least twice.
Yep, walking away from those things sometimes can be the hardest thing. And I agree, even though it's not chess for me, I would have to say on the pacifist, because I lost the Tauren Druid at 81, 83, whatever it was, because I was being greedy. I'm only flying around, Valley of the Four Winds, and I'm flying around and I'm doing, and I'm just like, oh, there's a herb, oh, and there's a mining node right near it, and they're green panthers, and I'm like watching them pat, and I'm like, yeah, I got this. And sure enough, I've dived down, I've grabbed it, and didn't realize, I was watching that one patting. Guess what? There's another one that comes patting that only does the patting not as regularly as this green one that's going like this. So I missed that, and of course he hit me, which then brought the next one over. So because I was greedy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know you guys do Valley of the Four Winds. I can't do it. It gives me such bad anxiety on my pacifist. I'm like, I can't do this.
Heartlands is so good.
I think I was on the edge of Heartlands. I was watching a node. I didn't see anything down there. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to land and grab it. And I landed. I'm in the middle of getting the herb, and I looked up, and there's a pack of 4 wolves that just phased in front of me and are like aggroed on me and running for me. And I'm like, oh my god, where did you come from? You phased in on top of me. Like, I got off my mount, and I'm like, oh god. So I can't do that zone anymore at all. It's like, no.
There is a lot of safe places in Valley of Four Winds. There is, but you push yourself, and I think I know I do that. I push myself, and it's like, oh, just go over here. Oh, look, there's some herbs, there's some of this, there's some ghost iron, or oh, I need, So I
got so caught up in like grabbing nodes on my first contest for the pacifist contest, and I'm sitting there, I'm watching it pat, and the one animal like patted to a certain point, stopped and turned around. I'm like, oh, I can get this. Forgot that I was actually level 62 in Sholzar Basin, and I was pushing the envelope being in there to begin with, and didn't realize or remember that, hey, you're 62. Everything else is like still kind of a skull to you, and you're going down there, you are just like, boop, hi, come eat me. And it did. So it was like, oh yeah. I shouldn't have done that. So, and as I was running away, because I was on a warrior, I'm like, yeah, I'm dead, I should probably just stand here and take it, because there's no way I'm getting away. Because I took heroic leap off, because it does damage when you land, and I'm like, I don't want to kill a critter and get hit that way. So yeah, it's dealing with like the chest greed or the rare greed or the node greed can be very difficult.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I don't know. I can think of the most recent stuff. For you, Sel, what's your most recent one that you've done? That you're like, I shouldn't be doing this, but you've done it. Would it be the Legion invasion, or have you done something else?
Probably Legion invasions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, right now my celery, the hunter, is level 97,
Mm-hmm.
and so she is doing chests in uh, Draenor,
Yep.
and I find it really easy because those chests, it's really easy to see. Man, that one is really, really guarded. Shouldn't touch that one.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a couple just in the past couple of days where it was a close call. I had to pop all of my cooldowns and run
Oh.
away and do the shadow meld and
Mm-hmm.
then get up and walk away from the computer and kick myself in the butt a couple of times. And yeah. So.
Yeah, and it is. I think we all get that sense of, oh no, shouldn't be doing this. I should not be doing this. Oh, just this one time. Just this one time. I can see it. It's right there. I can get it. All the cooldowns are up. I'm okay. Legs not lagging. Everything's okay. Let's do it. And then yeah, and you get through it, whether it's you get through it well or you get through it not so well, and then you sort of go, okay, next time I won't do it. And an hour later you're like, no, just one more time. I'll just one more time.
Oh yeah.
It's so yeah, I can hear you on that. That's definitely. I think we all. I'd like to say that we all have that kind of way of just pushing the envelope a little more at times than we should. So
Number of it too.
mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's a really good question. It's always, when you start to think about the things of, and it could be the moment that you just, I know where I've disregarded advice and just for that moment just going, oh no, she'll be right, and sure enough, it'd be like, damn it, okay, let's go re-roll. And that's always a lesson learned, as I've always said, death is but a lesson learned. So it's never always the best lesson to learn, but
Well,
yeah, it's
you're
really
being
good
generous
question.
if you're saying it's actually learned, I think.
Yes.
So, at least in my case.
Well, it depends. If it's repeated, it's like
One of these times it'll stick, right?
one time, maybe, exactly. So, guys, if you've got any answers and want to share, please write them in. Please let us know in Discord, because it always is intriguing to see what other people have to say. But
Oh, yeah,
thank you, Sel. That's a really great question. So thank you for that. Now, I know that you've also got another question, and I'll get you to ask us this. So what's your question?
Okay, so in the past couple of months, I've been playing with baby tunes, and on my normal tunes, I really, really like warlocks, and so I've decided to play with some warlocks. I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm on my third warlock now because the same thing happens every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I go out, I try to kill something and attack something, and then my pet accidentally aggroes 2 or 3 more things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm dead before I even know it. So, and I haven't been able to get a feel for proper pet management. How do you manage the AoE aggro on your warlock pets so that you can basically go out and quest and
Yep.
not be suicidal with it?
Mm-hmm. Cause Voidy loves to pull aggro on everything, and that is a real problem. I completely understand. You need to turn off the spell, or utilize something else. I
did
find
a lot of. Go ahead.
no. You were gonna say, because I
Okay.
know you did some testing, didn't you?
Well, I had the Soul Stone was a warlock,
Mhm.
so I had some interesting experiences while leveling her with the Voidwalker. I actually was on the imp for a long time. Even after hitting 20 and I got the Voidwalker, I was playing in Destruction. Demonology scared me. There was too many things. So no, too many things that could go wrong. So I was like, no, Destruction's fine. But I was on the imp until they made the change where the Voidwalker seemed to be scaling with the gear, and then with the green gear on, it was a little better and it wasn't dying as fast. But there was something that went wrong, and they still haven't fixed it. And I've put in a couple of bug reports about it, and I don't know if it's going to get fixed or not. Defensive stance. I would always leave my pets in defensive stance. Ever since Never Died had mentioned it. He's like, well, if you're in defensive and, you DC, your pet will save you or try to save you, or at least take the hits off you, hopefully until you can get back because something hit you and they're coming to your aid. And I was like, oh, I never even thought about that. So from then on, I left in defensive. Defensive is broken right now. So it was easy to have the Voidwalker up and, cast, and then the mob came to me, and then when it got up in my face and hit me, then I would just let the Voidwalker do its thing. But now it's like as soon as I cast to pull the mob to me, I have to quick hit follow on the pet management to make him come back to me. And then once the mob was further away from the rest of the group where the AoE wouldn't aggro them, then I was letting him attack. But I was kind of pulling at max range just to give me more room to play with. But the last few levels on the Voidwalker were a little interesting, and I definitely had to pay attention to the pet management bar.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know when I was doing teams with Execute, that there was quite often I'd have to either, if we needed Voidy, I had to turn the spells off, and because it was aggro everywhere. Yeah, which is never fun. The other thing I've done is hotkeyed attack for Voidy to go, onto the keyboard. So it's just be like pull the mob, hit my hotkey, which could be something as simple as 1 or something on my mouse key, just to kind of send Voidy in. Because I play a warlock main, I also find that I'll do the whole send Voidy in, take Voidy off to bring the mob closer to me, bring Voidy back in. So I've got that whole the way that I do that myself, and I'm used to doing that. But I also find sometimes I swap to different other pets, so I don't always utilize Voidy. Sometimes I'll go back to having the imp. The imp's probably faster in damage. High level, sometimes I just go, having a Fell Hunter out, having the Succubus out can, depending on what mobs I've got, can be good. Otherwise, it's just pretty much like getting Voidy would be like, okay, bring the mob to me, and then I'll take a step back, or get Voidy to meet the mob halfway as I'm bringing it to me, so it's around. And also clearing, instead of going, okay, there's a pack of but I need the guy that's right in the middle, so I could pull him. Like on my main, I'll pull him, and it might not bring everyone else, but you get on the challenge tune, and every single time you go, yeah, I've done this. I'll pull him, and everyone else decides to go, hey, let's go visit these guys, and everyone comes. So clearing and making the space available, that if you're not turning off Voidy's AoE stuff, that you're not going to be hitting other things. So clearing out those sections is, it takes longer and all of that, but sometimes, again, good advice that can often get disregarded would be another thing. But that's what Nisey and I both do, which are similar but a little different, so maybe that might help you. Not sure about the chat room. If anyone else.
I almost got burned by it because where I was grinding in Legion, it was in the Ley Ruins in Azuna, and I didn't have to move because by the time I killed 3 mobs, they were respawning again near this little pool of water, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. And I didn't notice the defensive stance wasn't working until this happened.
Yeah.
And I pulled, and the Void Walker ran into the middle of the 4 or 5 mobs sitting there, and I'm like, wait, what? And then next thing I know, like, all of them have pulled. Like, usually only 2 would aggro and go hostile, and the rest would be neutral. And I'm sitting there, I was like, okay, I've got that one down. I'm like, why are you taking so much damage? And I was getting pissed off, and then I looked, I'm like, why are there 4 things attacking me? And I'd get another one down, and then 2 more were popping up. It was not ending, and I had to cut and run because I was almost dead. And I was like, oh no. So from that point forward, I had to pull to me and cancel him auto running in, and then wait till it got up closer to me, and then be like, okay, let me release you. You can go and attack now and pull this off of me. But it was a lot of pet management with with defensive stance being broken right now. Normally in defensive stance, I would just leave him there and it would be fine. Yeah. But
and that's basically been my workaround so far. Is I'll put I've taken the pet buttons off the pet bar and I've put them on my main bar.
Yeah.
And so I'll put them on passive, then I'll attack the tune, wait till the tune gets to me, and then put them on assist.
Yeah.
And it kind of works, but it is really bulky and awkward, and it just and it doesn't feel natural enough that if I make one tiny mistake, then I'm instantly in trouble. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping that they'll fix it in Shadowlands. We'll see.
We just have our fingers crossed that they do, because there never used to be a problem. It used to be
it just
good.
It happened suddenly, like overnight, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
This was working yesterday, like nothing changed.
What's going on? It's like, come on, Blizz, fix it. Exactly. So, there's a couple of things to try. As I said, sometimes it's even just easier, don't use Voidy. Bring out the imp. Imps can do a lot more damage a lot faster, so that can be, if you've got imp taking stuff on, they're normally gonna stand near you and they're not going into the mobs, so that can be a way that you can get you might be able to kill the mobs quicker before they've even hit you. So have a play around with it and let us know how you go with it, so absolutely. But hopefully that'll give you a little bit of help maybe, and if anyone's got any different strategies, again, let us know. We're always keen to share and try different things to give this a go. Normally Leeta's too busy, like, Leroy Jenkins. Anyway, no, who? Not me. Yeah. Okay.
I'll definitely give the imp a try again and get back into that. That is something that I really hadn't considered. I thought I was kind of either basically stuck, but I'll give that a shot.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the imp does cast, so it might be better. And that's probably that probably falls under what advice you disregard, even though you shouldn't. Changing your pets around, it didn't even really cross my mind to switch out the Voidwalker when that incident happened and when it was becoming a problem. I just kind of just dealt with it because I'm like, oh, but it's gonna tank for me. But in hindsight, it might have just been faster and less painless to try the imp for a couple of kills and see what was gonna happen.
Yeah. And I mean, play around with it as well and see.
Yeah, definitely.
Because sometimes it's not. It might be better to be able to use Voidy. Sometimes it's not. If you've got other ones that are different level, like Fell Hunter can come in and be a bit of a tank. Obviously not as great as Voidy at times, but
I never tried that pet.
Really?
I never touched it.
Why? They can be quite good.
I don't know. I just never did.
Give it a go.
I was scared. I was
not on your big girls.
I think I was under the impression of, better the evil I know than the one I don't. So
Mhm.
I'm
Well,
scared.
your challenge this week, Nisey, at some stage, and do not do this on a big toon, but is to go and just have a play with the Fell Hunter at some stage when you've got it, just to see how you find it. But I mean, there's reasons why the Warlock has got different pets. Sometimes it's time that you just gotta, utilize and I think the same can be said for a lot of classes. Sometimes we get so used to just doing that same few spells or getting the same pets or utilizing the same things and not always utilizing every single spell that we've got in our arsenal for a class, for whether it's class or even race ability sometimes. So sometimes it's nice to step it up a little bit to see what else we can actually do. Don't do this on fresh irons, high level irons, please. go and utilize on a normal toon or a tin.
Trial class.
Don't come back and be like, Leeta, you got me killed, because I'll be like, no, I didn't. Please don't use normal challenge toons. But have a play around with. Sometimes even playing around with the spec. Of course, Leeta will never be anything other than Destro. However, for other people, it might be fun to try a bit of Affliction or Demonology. You might find just changing the spec up could give you something that you much prefer. Leeta likes Chaos Bolt to the face. It's always a good fun thing. Just saying. But so hopefully that gives you something that you might be able to play around with, and let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you for the insight. I'll definitely be playing around with that this week. So.
Excellent. All right. Well, and you know what? Then that means, we'll have to give it you back on so you can tell us how you go with it. So
absolutely.
That's always a good thing as well, which is good. All right. So let's talk about our weeks in WoW, because here I am with two people who don't play really any toons.
No.
Like this is alcoholics galore right here. We've got Cell, we've got Nisey, you've got me. I've actually played a few toons this week, so
I saw that.
But I want to know how your week's been. So Cell, tell us about your week. What have you been up to?
Basically everything I said like 30 minutes ago. I've got the 65 working man priest who's basically parked in Stormwind for the moment. I need to get her out and actually doing some quests. I've got the 42 druid and the 23 warlock, and those are just log in once every couple of days and do a couple of quests, and that's it. And I'm slowly treasure hunting on Celery, the 97 hunter. And every once in a while log into I'm blanking on it again, bloodthirsties. Why can't I never remember that word? And then occasionally log into the bloodthirsties and kill a couple elementals, and that's about it. So
nice. But traveling, do you ever have an issue with jumping from different challenges? Like you log into one and kind of sit there for a minute and you're like, whoa, hang on, am I iron? Am I blood? What? Hang on, which toon's this? What am I doing? Or is it fairly like, as soon as you log in, you're like, right, this is my iron, off I go, or this is my blood, yep, let's go.
It is almost never an issue for me for whatever reason. The only time it was an issue was my bloodthirsty who had spent like 40 levels parked in the same inn doing the same thing for 40 levels. Then they hit 61, so I take them to Stormwind so I can go to Northrend. And I wasn't even thinking about it because I was so out of my comfort zone with him. I saw Blingtron, and so I did a Blingtron on my bloodthirsty. Didn't even think about it until about 5 seconds later. But that was really the only time I've ever had an issue. And I think part of the thing that helps me with that is that on all of my toons, I'm fairly regimented on what I do. I've got the same cycle that I run all the time.
Nice.
So I think that helps me a lot.
Routine is...
Routine helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for that. And, you know, again, for the chat. And we appreciate and we're wishing you all the best with all of your tunes. And it's lovely, lovely that you could come and have a chat with us today. So thank you for that. And you're sticking around for the rest of the show, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Nisey.
First, I just want to say I love the name Celery. It makes me giggle every time you say it. I love it.
I'm glad you like it.
This, you have got some of the best names, seriously, for your tunes. It is fantastic. Yeah.
All right. So my weeks are slowing down a little bit, but that's by design, just to give me a little bit of a rest. It's been a long BFA. It's been a long BFA. So, well, you know, we had the contest that wrapped up last weekend, and I'll tell you, I was really duking it out with Rusty, and I was like, I kept leveling. I'm like, oh my god, I'm in the top 10. Like, I restarted this character Thursday, and I really didn't think I had any chance of getting into the top 10, and then suddenly I was in like 11th, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe just a couple more levels, because I wasn't feeling that well, and I'm like, well, okay. So I like toughed it out through a migraine all afternoon, battling back and forth with him. Every level I was logging out and updating, and I was like, oh, I got it. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe just give myself another level to pad it to make sure I stay in the top 10. And then 10 minutes later, I refreshed the website, and dang it, he's in front of me again. And I'm like, there! We were leveling about the same time on the nose. And then like I would log out and update, and then he hadn't yet, and I'm like, oh, maybe he stopped playing. And then no, he just didn't update that level, because the next level he had updated, and we did it at the same time again. And I'm like, dang it. So it was quite a battle between 10th and 11th, and then we finally passed whoever was in 10th. I think it was Chupa, and then we were both in the top 10. And then I slowed down a little bit, but then I was like, oh, I don't know if anybody's behind me that's still leveling. So I was just kind of going as hard as I could stand it, like right up until the contest finished. But I still have that one, and I was working on them this week, and it feels weird to be on a hunter and doing pacifist. I was actually surprised that there were no other pacifists or pacifist hunters either in the contest or on the list that were active at all right now, because it was just very odd to me, because I'm like, but you get like feign death and like a slow trap if something's coming at you. Like, you have utilities that you can use without the pet, and because I wouldn't risk the pet, you know, keeping it busy while I run in case the pet actually killed it. But but no, I got to 48, so I did clock a couple extra levels, and that surprised me. But now I have like 4,000 pieces of life root that I can't get rid of. So if anybody wants to buy that over on the other server, that would be great. But I also worked on my big pacifist. I pulled her out, and I was like, you know, I'm doing the dailies on the other one. I might as well try to do the dailies on this one, because I'm really bad about doing the fishing and cooking daily. It doesn't hit me until like the end of the week, and I'm like, oh, I should have done that. And I'm like, oops. So I got her to 102 somehow, and
nice.
Yeah, I'm just kind of putzing around on her, and I have plans for her soon. But also worked on my iron, Grumpy Soul. I managed to get a level done. Was up in, I did like 2 quests in the Grand, finished that up, and then I was like, okay, let's go up to Sunwell Isle, and we'll do some dailies. And by the time I turned those in, we had hit 71, and I was like, you know what, iron is tiring for me, we're done for today. So it's like, questing is a lot for me on the irons, because it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what's safe, I kind of know, but I don't know. And it's like, okay, I prefer Bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty is more my speed, and no quest to stress over. So I did work on Soul Snuffer, successfully got her to 117 this week. and we're just kind of chipping away. I'm trying to get her ready for my stream on next Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully, providing nothing goes wrong, we should be hitting 120 the last week of July.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't miss any time. So I was
Okay.
working on that, and then Paf and Cell wanted to know my path in Warlords of Draenor, so I worked on getting that to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a slow week, but it was a busy week.
And thank you again for
Very.
doing that. I really did
you're welcome.
appreciate the time you put into it. So.
You're welcome. I originally gotten the photos, and I do have the photos if anybody wants them, that I can send to them on Discord or an email. I can't draw it out on the map because when you zoom in the mini map, none of the landmarks are there. The road that I take isn't on the mini map. The little divot that I jump up it's not there. It's just like flat land, like nothing's there. And I actually stood there staring at the map, and I'm like, wait, where do I go when I come out of here? And then I took my main and I was following my path and looking at the mini map where I was, and I'm like, where's the road? The road's not there on the mini map. And then it was bizarre, and I was like, okay. So I was taking screenshots in case Paf couldn't come into the stream.
Yeah.
And I do have that stream with the beginning physical walkthrough up on my YouTube channel now.
Okay.
So the first half is the walkthrough of the leveling path in WoD, and then the second half is just me working on Soul Snuffer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, information, as we know, one of the best things I love about this community is the sharing of information. So, again, Nisey, thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're
and
welcome.
You've got people like Cell and Paf that are greatly appreciate. So, you know, that's one of the things. Heart you guys all for the sharing of information. It really is lovely to see. So yeah, 117 on Soul Snuffer, huh? Getting there.
We're getting there. I'm just like, oh,
soon. Nice. All right. Well, good luck. We're all like.
And what have you done this week, Leeta? Because you've done a couple of things. It looks like.
I have done a couple of things. I have been playing the contest tune still, and so the Tauren Druid hit 72 last night.
My goodness.
So, yes, excuse me. So yeah, I've done nearly 20 levels this week on that.
Oh my crap, Leeta.
Yeah.
That's
also
a lot of levels. But to my brain, it's a lot of pacifist levels.
It is a lot of picking herbs, and it is a lot of mining. So, which is it's been. She is still in her original startup gear, other than the fact that when I was at Moonglade, I went to, there's a vendor there that sells some robes, and I went and bought one of the level 1 white robes, and I changed her robe from the startup one to that one. But I've still got her. She's got exactly, I haven't changed any gear on her, so she is still in basically the startup gear. So I've not done anything on her. So other than she got a new dress. So yeah, so she looks, she's wearing this pink and mauve, dress, rocking it on the Tauren. So yeah, stylish.
You know it's your
stylish. Yes. So yeah, so really happy how she's going. Sholazar, again, I did the same thing. I probably hit Sholazar about 62, and I was like, yeah, you should not be here, Leeta.
Actually in there at 60, to be perfectly honest. Full disclosure.
Yeah, so did I. I went for a trip just to check things out, because it was like, and then I was like, no.
Sure, I'd be able to see anything.
No,
what it was gonna be like.
Yeah, give it a couple levels. Let's go back at 62. Yeah, no. So I went back at 64, and so she's going round and round and round in circles, which is good fun, and chasing those those nodes and those herbs. So yeah, so I'm really happy about that. I did manage to play some bloods this week, which was good. So
I saw
my Panda Hunter hit 30. So I got a couple levels on her, and my Gnome Warlock hit 37 today. So yeah, so we're getting there. We're slowly but surely getting there. So but we're happy with that.
Trust me, you don't rush. There's only pain further ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, I did have a point that's written on, here's my notebook that has, this is where I put all the things before all the things go into the show notes. But I did have something that I wanted to bring up with because Fire Festival, we had the Fire Festival, and the Fire Festival now has gone. But something that was interesting, I don't know if you guys had noticed with it, with Midsummer. And I'm not sure when this exactly happened, but I may have desecrated a fire or 3 in Pacifist's journey to 72. Just a couple, always making sure, scouting, looking, and all of that. There was one place that I was at, which I was completely fine at, but then I did the hearth back, and it did not remove my PvP flag.
Huh.
Not only did I do it once, I did it twice because I wanted to test it. Probably, again, not the best thing to be doing that on the contest toon. But, it was one of those things that I was kind of looking, going, why have I still got a 5-minute flag when I've just hearthed back to, I think I'm going to say I was in Razor Hill. I think I'd been set my hearth in Razor Hill. I hadn't moved. Yeah, taking the flight path was okay. It would remove, but not always that you're in a spot that you can get to a flight path to take the flight path. So it was quicker to do the hearth. Now, it used to be that as soon as you hearthed, that flag would be gone. So there was 2 ways you could get rid of it if you were desecrating, which was hop on the flight path or hearth. Hearth was not doing that now. And I'm really not sure when they've changed it. But I did it twice. And both times I did not lose the flag. And the only way I could lose the flag. So just a thought for next year.
Yeah, we'll have to add that into the
yes, to
right up there.
to the notes. It was a little bit, because sometimes your hearth, I don't know if you guys have done it, but sometimes you hit the hearth button, you see that you've hearthed back. This is a time on a toon, on a challenge toon in particular, not necessarily a pacifist, but you might be like, okay, hang on, I need to go make a coffee, I need to go do this, I need to, just quickly step away for a couple minutes. You know that
OMG,
you've
Pat's on fire, gotta run.
Yeah, you know that you've hearthed back, so you know that you're in a relatively safe place, especially if you're going back to, Stormwind or Ironforge or Ogrimmar or Thunderbluff or somewhere big that you shouldn't have any problems with. Shouldn't, not always, and haven't logged out. But yeah, I was certainly concerned when I did the fires, and as I said, I was testing for future endeavors. That's what I was doing.
Oh man, so
Sure.
Tiber said one of his regular characters got killed by a rogue in the Stormwind Inn during the Fire Festival. Oh.
Yep, rogues love to do that. Absolutely. Yeah. So Tiber said, made sure to hit a flight path on my challenges before hearthing during the rest of the holiday. Yeah. Yeah. So we know that a flight path is definitely the best way to go, but yeah, just keep that in mind, guys, if you're hurting and expecting, you know, those buffs to disappear, or wasn't on that. So we need to remember that for next year. All right. Other than that, I think we can go on to the news. So where's my bumper? I got it. Here it is. Let's do this.
Breaking down news from the world of Warcraft.
Thank you, Rogue Slayer. Alright, so there was a couple of things that happened this week, and there was a lot of announcements with Shadowlands. So if anyone's been living in a bubble or a closet or a, campfire or tent or whatever it is and don't know, there was a lot of discussions with the World of Warcraft devs. Lots of interviews done. Go to Wowhead. You just need to Google it. There's be a lot of stuff. But one of the things that they did mention is that beta starts this coming week. So
Excited.
yes. So the announcement that I had seen was that I checked through Wowhead earlier today was Blizzard has announced that Shadowlands Beta will start next week, meaning this coming week, with beta testers being able to test the max level experience of Shadowlands. They will be testing the Rise to 60 and taking a look at endgame content. They will be sending out new invite waves to people to test. So if anyone is has got that option ticked on your account and you do get to do some testing and you want to test out challenge tunes, which is what I've been doing in alpha a little bit, but I definitely will be doing the same thing with when beta comes. Let us know, or DM me, send me or the mods, and let us know how you go, if you've got any questions, any queries, any of that, because we're trying to get together information to see how things run, because there's going to be a lot of changes coming, and we want to be best prepared as we can for when Shadowlands hits, which means Ominia's gonna have a lot of work. We
want to have as little downtime for the challengers on the site and getting everything up to speed for Shadowlands as possible, so as much testing as we can do ahead of time will help with that. And Azzy, I saw that where they said that they weren't going to be updating it for Shadowlands, but it sounded like it wasn't going away. It'll still be there, but it wouldn't be updated to the Shadowlands zones or something to that effect. But it looks like it will still be in place, which doesn't really affect us that much as challengers, because the high level zones are kind of off limits for the challengers that can do archaeology, because it's too dangerous. At least that's what I'm taking from the brief amount of conversation that I saw about it.
That's true, and that's how I took it too. That they're just not doing it for Shadowlands, but it'll still be there. So, again, we know things can change, so we just need to sit tight and see. But again, if anyone is doing any beta testing over the next, couple weeks, couple months, let us know how you go, any findings, anything that you want to discuss with us. Get in contact. Absolutely, that would be awesome. Okay, now Nisey, can you talk about the Luminous Luminaires, please?
Yes, the Luminous Luminaires. I actually did not realize this micro holiday existed. I happened to just see it on the calendar during my stream, and I was like, what is this? And I was like, since when has this been in game? I totally had no idea what it was, so I had to look it up for you guys. I think it's actually been around for a while. I'm just living under a rock, that's all. So apparently it seems to happen out in, I'm gonna say this wrong, Vashajar? The underwater Kata zone. We'll go with that. And apparently it's like maybe a one-day event, and there's no breadcrumb quests that take you to it. You just go out to the location, which you can find on Wowhead, talked to the 2 people. There's like no achievements, no pets or anything. It's just a thing that's
It's a
there. You're
micro.
helping
It's a
them.
mini.
Yeah,
Mini one.
it's just a little thing.
Mm.
You're helping them research these luminous things. I like to equate it to probably like the luminous jellyfish or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're helping do research, and like you have a headlamp that you have to put on. However, the one thing I saw, which is why I'm gonna say don't do it on your challengers, there's a whale shark that will show up, and I saw in the comments that said it shows up kind of like clockwork every 2 to 3 minutes, and you have to turn your headlamp off or it'll come near you. Just don't. Just don't. If you're a glutton for punishment and really want to do it on your challenger, please test it first. But I would not.
Yeah.
Because people were saying it was one-shotting them, and they were on normal characters. So yeah.
Not challenger friendly, I would say. But you know, again, if you're gonna take the chance, guys, be careful. It's probably not the best thing to be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just be mindful that is happening Monday night. So yeah, so if you're not, you know, I would say avoid it as best you can. That would be something I wouldn't even look into for a challenge soon. So.
Just don't.
Just don't. That's it. Just don't.
Just
Stop. Don't do it. All right. Let's have a look at the state of the challenges. I think it's been a bit balky this week. So hopefully Leeta has got everything right. Apologies to last week. Wanima, sorry about stuffing up on the teams. But anyway, let's have a look. Cell, can you take the irons for us, please?
Yeah, sure. So this week at number 10 we have Celery at level 97. At number 9 we have Jane Test at level 99. At number 8 we have Fairy Carey at 101. At number 7 we have 99 at 109. At number 6 we have Never Died H. He hit 110, but unfortunately RIP. Apparently he had an uncommon slot equipped.
Yeah.
At number 5, we have Contester at 110. At number 4, we have Severus Leper at 111. At number 3, we have Hipsterism at 111. Number 2, we have Zaya Mill at 115. And at number 1, congratulations to Assy Iron for hitting 120, who is the 17th max level BFA champion.
Yay,
congratulations, man.
Azzy. Azzy, and I know he's in the chat room, so well done. Well done, Azzy. Yes, gold. Absolutely. You made it to gold, Azzy. Fantastic. Alrighty. And a great write-up there. Thank you to Nisey and Azzy on the write-up there. It's lovely to read, so congratulations, Azzy. All right, Bloods. Let's have a look. Nisey, what have we got, please?
Bloods. Okay, 10th this week is Deserved at level 35. 9th, Bloody Hunt at 36. 8th, Blood Leeta at 37. 7th, Murloc Killer at 53. 6th, Ensorcel at 58. 5th, Blood Trail at 63. 4th, Blood Cell at 63 as well. 3rd, we have Zaya Bicey at 67. 2nd, we have Bloody Path at 90. It's good to see him leveling again. And First Soul Snuffer at 117.
Nice. Well done, Bloods.
Nice.
Okay, Passies. Who have we got, Cell?
Okay, at number 10, we have Innocence at level 75. Number 9 is Fairy Paw at 75 as well. Number 8 is Zaya Passy at 76. Number 7 is Peacenik at 79. Number 6 is Awesome Blomster at 85. Number 5 is Fairy Viola at 86. Number 4 is Pacifist at 88. And I don't know. Are they dead?
RIP, yeah. But I think I've got a feeling, wasn't that the other last week as well? Isn't that a contest too?
Yeah, I missed that earlier. Their RIP on the front page of the State of the Challenges. I think that was
Yeah.
from the contest. Don't think they should really be there, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's okay. That was supposed to be. I was supposed to ask you about. Completely forgot. But yeah.
That's okay.
All right.
It
Okay.
happens.
Yeah. Okay. Next one.
And then at number 3, we have Ashes Passy at 100. Number 2 is Gentle Soul at 102. And at number 1, we have Pass 17 at 111.
Nice. And again, well done to the passies on that leveling. All right. So Nisey, can you do the tins and then straight into the greens, please?
Sure. So we only had 3 tins this week, so not too many out there scouting about or just leveling as a tin for the sake of. So number 3 this week was Fenris at 18, second Truz at 23, and first Taylin at 45. Now greens, we did have a full list, although greens, I think you had the worst week possibly, and I'm sorry.
Yes.
10th, we have Jot M at 47, RIP. 9th, we have Hatistus, I think, 51, RIP. 8th, Ego Rich, 58. 7th, Completion at 49.
69.
69, I'm sorry. Woo! Sorry about that, my brain. Completion at 69. There we go. Apologies. 6th, we have Shizukana at 70. 5th, Fairy Locky at 76. 4th, Croaker at 85. 3rd, we have Daydreamer at 91. 2nd, we have Celadon at 92. And first, Green Guskan, but RIP at 111.
Cheaper. And
But that hurts me.
said, yeah, Legion Evasion. So sorry, Chupa. But well done, because we know that he's re-rolled and is about 32.
Yes.
So nice to see. Thick-skinned, absolutely. But yeah, 111, damn. All right.
That hurts.
It does, absolutely. I think we all can feel that one. All right, Working Man. Sel, who have we got on that one, please?
Okay, at number 10, we have Hurricane at level 16. Number 9, we have Sealay at 16 as well. At number 8, we have Handro at 20. Number 7, we have Work It Azzy at 23. Number 6, we have Work in Roara, I think is how you say that, at level 34. At number 5, we have DRWG at 35. At number 4, we have Lurksist at 48. At number 3, we have Not Nisey at 65. At number 2, we have Fairy Work at 70. And at number 1, we have Zaya Womil at 77.
Nice. All right. And it's so lovely to see all the leveling across the challenges, which is fantastic.
Oh, it
to see.
is.
Alrighty. Looking at the teams, and the teams was a little weird this week. But anyway, if it's wrong, please let us know. But
Yes.
when I did the reports up, or when the reports came to me, it was a bit, sometimes it's a little weird. So the data coming back from the API can be, I don't know, it's a little wonky at times, so
A little confused sometimes.
yeah, so anyway, but for Iron Teams this week, so we had at number 3, we had Dragonsfly Clockwise showed up as an RIP with Loss to the Nether. So if anyone tells me that that's not correct, they can let us know on that, but that's what the data's coming back at. Other than that, at 2 was Undeterred. They had hit 53, and at number 1 is back on track, hitting 68 this week. So
Nice.
well done to the teams. No blood teams this week. However, the green team And again, this one was a little bulky, but we've gone by not what the challenge page has said, but what the main green team's page shows. That Never Give Up hit 83. So, and it's saying that they are green flagged, but on the front challenge page it's saying it's not. So I'm gonna go with you guys are green flagged. If there's anything different, please let us know. Yes. Yeah, it's I'm not sure. We'll need to see what's going on between the main pages and the challenge pages, so we'll do that. All right. Yep, that's Rude. That's you and Winema. Is that back on track? I'm pretty sure that's you guys.
Yeah, 68. I think so.
Yeah, nice. That's good. That's awesome. All right. Where's my chit chat bumper? Here we go. Let's do this one.
Hey yo, it's chit chat.
Oh, sorts. Okay, so as we always like to start this off with, it is Azzy's pun. Let's do Azzy's bumper. Here we go.
It's Azzy's pun.
Oh, always good, Azzy. All right, Sal. I have no idea because Nisey's put it in, so I really haven't got a clue what Azzy sent in. So, Sel, go for it. What's Azzy's pun?
Can I just say something before I do that real quick?
Sure.
I listen to a lot of podcasts over the years, and I have really grown to dislike bumpers because there are so many bad ones out there. But the Chit Chat bumper combined with the Azzy's pun bumper always makes me snort. So, one of the few bumpers I actually really enjoy.
Nice.
Okay, so Azzy's pun this week. A Tibetan monk sees the face of Jesus in a tub of margarine. He raises his eyes to the heavens and exclaims, "I can't believe it's not Buddha."
Mm-hmm.
You gotta lead a sigh.
Yep.
What would Holy Mother of Margarine say?
It's kind of like one that's kind of like yep, should have so seen where that was coming. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's cute. Thank you, Azzy. Thank you, Sal, for bringing in the next that's yep. Thank you. All right, Nisey, something from Dave. What did Dave send in?
Yep. So this week, Dave sent in a special issue just for Zorts.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get if you boil a funny bone? A laughing stock. I thought you would find that humorous.
You
That's
know,
pretty good. I like it.
What can I say, guys? We love you so much for doing, sending this stuff in. Sometimes they are fantastic. Absolutely. It always gets a reaction no matter what. So thank you so much. We do appreciate that. Azzy and Dave. There we go. Heart you both because we do appreciate it. All right. Well, I don't think there's any other questions that we need to worry about for this week. So I think we'll just wrap it up. I think that's yeah. Let's just wrap this up. So Nisey, can you start with the thank yous, please?
Sure. All right. So we would like to thank our Iron Elite supporters. You guys do help make this possible. You guys help more than you ever can possibly realize, and we greatly, greatly appreciate you. So we would like to thank the following: Aleandros, Asylum, Awesome Trousers, Boz, Stel, Chupa, Crash Landing 99, Dave the Hunter, Execute, LB, Fair, Frasley Sparks Fan, Gadsden, Grandinagus, K-Vamp, Chris W, Lisanne, Mr. Bright 01, Mrs. Rock Guru, Mrs. Migi, Mrs. Charming, Never Died, Nisey, Path, Return of the Mac, Rude, Stir, Stone, Swing Cat, Tiber, aka Tiber, Tuli Bardine, Alminia, Winima, Zaya, and Zorts.
Excellent. And again, thank you and welcome. Pav has joined the Iron Elite rank. Thank you so much, guys. It greatly appreciated. So thank you. All right. And as always, I know I say this every week, but seriously, without our wonderful mods doing all the things that they do for me, Stone and Stir, they do make our lives a lot easier. Particularly when I'm injured and I'm not around and all of that kind of thing. Thank you. Awesome Trousers, Boz, Fair, Chris, Nisey, Zyra, and Zorts. All the things that you do, greatly appreciated by us here. So thank you for that. Alminia for all the things that he does, keeping the code ticking over, changing the code when it needs to, the changes that come through with API changes and all those bits and pieces, and taking care of website and little bits and pieces here and there. Alminia does a lot of work to keep all the things running behind the scenes. So thank you for that. And to you guys, thank you for hanging out the chat room today. Everyone listening to the podcast at home or wherever you are, thanks for being here and thanks for supporting the show. We appreciate that. Now, we will be back next week, which will be Saturday, July 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I have to say, Self, thank you so much for joining us today and coming in to have a chat. It's been so good to catch up with you. So if you want to... It has, absolutely. Can you tell everyone where they can find you and get in contact with you, please?
Yeah, sure. And you're very welcome. It was really good to be back on. If you want to find me, I am in the Discord, or I am in the WoW Ironman Guild, which is on the Alliance side of Wimrest Accord, US.
Absolutely. And again, you know what? We will not wait this long next time, Sel. so we will get you back on as soon as we can with some follow-ups, because I definitely want some follow-ups as to, you know, how you go, especially with the with your pets for the warlocks, because, you know, Leeta can talk warlocks all day if she needs to, so that's fine. But yeah, so thank you for that. Now, don't forget where you can find all the information over at the WoW Challenges website, which is wowchallenges.com. There is the Discord, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube channel information there, so click on the links and they will take you through. Otherwise, you can download episodes of the shows on your podcast, which is Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher Radio. And remember, guys, if you want to contact the show, tell us, you know, warlock pet tricks, you know, how your leveling's going, if there's anything, if you're doing some beta testing for Shadowlands, get in contact. You can certainly send us an email, which is podcast@wowchallenges.com. Nisey, where can we find you? Please.
Well, if anybody does really want to find me, don't know why you would, but if you do, I'm in the WoW Challenges Discord quite a bit. It's probably the fastest way to get a hold of me. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at NiseyBGN, or you can find me on Twitch also at NiseyBGN.
Nice. Excellent. All right, and
so where can we find you?
I'm here. Hang on. I did the wrong one. Where is it? This.
Yes, I'm here.
Pretty much so. But no, you can find me over on Twitter at Leeta Wow, and obviously in Discord. If there's any issues or anything that you need to talk to the mods or me about, or admin, please let us know. Most definitely. But you can send a message through onto my Leeta WoW on Twitter, or even the WoW Challenges Twitter account if you need to contact me, Nisey, or myself. Will get those. So and pass on any messages. So definitely do that. Now, and I just forgot to say, Anonymous Cheerer, thank you so much for the 100 bits. That was very sweet of sending those through. So I did see that, so thank you. It's very cool. All right, last lot of thank yous. Nisey, who have we got?
Okay, so we'd like to extend a very big thank you to Stone for our current intro, and you can find him on Twitter at Stonegrass. And we'd also like to extend a very big thank you to Epic Insanity for our outro, and you can find him on Twitter at epic_insanity, as well as the Frozen Nerds podcast.
Absolutely. And I'm still waiting for, we are getting a new intro. It will be coming. It's not ready yet. You know, these things take time. But there is something coming. So will be revealed soon. TM. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But again, Stone, thank you for the nice little intro. Just that really helped me out. Okay guys, well, thank you chat room for hanging out here. Good luck everyone. Hope everyone has a safe week. Cell, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and again, great having a chat with you and catching up. Best of luck with all of your challenge tunes, because we know we love to see you right across all the different boards, which is really good. So thank you for your time today.
Yep, and thank you very much for having me on. It was a good time.
Oh, you are most welcome. Absolutely. All right, well, I think it's that time for to say goodbye. So everyone, please stay safe, both in and out of game. Take care, and we will see you back here next week. Say goodbye, guys.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.
The WoW Challenges podcast is a World of Warcraft gaming podcast. Produced by Stone and Leeta, copyright 2020. Portions of this podcast belong entirely to Blizzard Entertainment. The music used for the show belongs to Kevin MacLeod, and you can find his great stuff at incomputech.com. No copyright infringement is intended.
And Leeta is editing, so she will fix all that in post. All right. Okay, we need a show title. So Cell, what have I got? I've got two that I came up with for you. I've got Paid More Attention, or Eventually It's Gonna Bite Me.
I actually had paid more attention too, and I got lucky.
Yeah, because those are the first two rules. You know, be patient, pay attention, and be lucky. You know, so.
I'll see if the chat room's got anyone in the chat room got any show titles that they'd like to submit through. Otherwise, Cell, you might have your own that you'd like. So let's see what chat room's got. Anybody? Nobody?
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't even thinking about it. I had spaced it off from the first minute. So
that's okay.
Yeah,
I was
maybe.
too busy listening, so I was like,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just like, oh wow, this is fascinating. So I was just so enthralled with what you were saying. I wasn't even writing anything down for a while, and I was like, oh crap.
Me too. And I was like, oh yes, we need to write something down. So okay, nobody's got anything from the chat room. That's fine. So Cell, what would you like to have for the title?
I don't know if this is too long or not, but what about be lucky, pay attention, be lucky? I don't know.
Should be okay. I think we can work with that. Be
okay, or Or if not, just pay attention, be lucky. That's fine too. Whatever.
Pay attention. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we might have to just do one lot of be lucky. Okay. Alright, that's okay. We can do that. So we'll do pay attention, be lucky, or do you want be lucky, pay attention? Which way would you like it?
Let's go with the latter. Be lucky, pay attention.
Be lucky, pay attention. Done. Alright, well, that sounds like a plan. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. We will be back next week. Say goodbye, guys. I'm going to cut the stream.
All right. See you later. Bye, guys.